Welcome to the Dawg and Gus Show, now on Feel It Radio.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Not much. You?
Oh, just another day, another podcast.
Another sunshiny day.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day, actually.
It was very nice.
Yeah, we have some guests today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I want to say it.
Why don't we do it like
Yes.
as cheesy as possible?
Oh, yeah, absolute cheese.
So you go, then I go.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. So we're talking with Blonde.
James Blunt.
Oh. Bet you've never heard that before.
No, it's the first.
Ooh.
Well, it's pretty good to meet you guys. Thank you to Natasha who connected us with you. And you've got some great shows planned, so maybe we'll get into that. So where did you guys sort of form, and then maybe talk a little bit about the tour coming up?
Well, actually, the two of us are the OGs who formed the band back in high school.
Grade 9.
Yeah. And the band just kind of went through various iterations of other people, including ourselves, until we became James Blonde in 2017. And we just
That's hilarious.
Kicked it off there. And kind of our first big show with James Blonde. Actually, the first show with James Blonde. We played Niagara Falls' New Year's Eve concert. So it was kind of a good kickoff with Sam Roberts and Serena Ryder. And that was sort of our big step forward into doing nothing until our album came out.
Nice. Now, is James Blonde, is that a play on James Bond? Or what's it?
Oh, come on. Of course it is.
Is it?
Yes and no. I mean, I've never seen a James Bond movie. I don't know why.
There's no you haven't seen a James Bond movie. Come on. That's the bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
But if we're being honest, we kind of wanted we needed a new band name.
Since the first one was a high school band. So
Yeah.
What was the name of the high
So
school?
we decided to when we came up with when we were recording our first James Blonde record, we were in the studio kind of shooting the shit, trying to come up with a name. And we kept coming up with kind of punny names, and everything was already taken, right? And then we kind of had a rough idea because a few months prior at Canadian Music Week, Ian DeSalle from Billy Talent was razzing Neil about our old band name. And so when our producer suggested James Blonde, we're like, oh shit, that's perfect. That's like
the person name.
it's a person name for a band. So it's like, okay, Ian DeSalle, we see your Billy Talent and we raise you a James Blonde. And we kind of went with that.
Nice.
That's amazing. Are you guys from the same town? Is that where that connection comes from?
We're from Niagara, and they're in Toronto area, and we were at Canadian Music Week at the time.
So we
Okay, cool.
He saw him at a bar.
Yeah. Of course, I was fanboying because I like him quite a bit. And they said that they had a lot more success once they changed the band name from Pez to Billy Talent because the first name was too silly, I guess. As well as their sound change. But we were going through a sound change as well and wanted a new name to redefine ourselves a bit.
Yeah, do you find that was sort of when you wanted it, like obviously they were Pez before, which is hilarious, and then you guys, what was your band name in high school?
We were X Prime, which was a band. It was technically a French name, Extreme, and we just started playing English music and kept the name for some reason.
All right.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Exprime. What's the French connection in Niagara? Not a lot of French speaking going on there. That's
There
for
is,
sure.
actually. In
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Welland specifically.
Okay.
If you go to Welland, like all the signs are like Rue King Street, like it's all very bilingual. And we all actually went to the same French high school. Hence the French band name was because we were only allowed to like play and practice French music at school, so we needed a French band name.
For like church
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So the new album's out. It's called Chameleon. I was listening to a bit of it today. Really great stuff, guys. Like I really enjoyed. Obviously, FOMO is a song that is one that I liked. I don't know why it just sort of hit me, but I really liked Eliminator too. That was a great tune.
Yeah, we like that one quite a bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those both resonate. Have you listened to it, Doc?
I listened to both. Yeah. I was actually listening to your first album on the way here, and I was looking at your guys' influences and stuff, and it says one of them is the Arctic Monkeys, who I love.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't hear it. Like on the second album, I'm like, I really don't hear it. And I listened to your first album a couple times. I go, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we still miss them, but we've kind of moved a bit away from them.
And on the on the EP, we had a couple songs that were like kind of intentionally Arctic Monkeys-y. But yeah, I guess the most recent record isn't as much that. Yeah. But we still love it.
Yeah, the 2017 album's got a little bit more. I think your newer album is it's a different sound for me. Anyway, I didn't hear as much of that influence in that, but it's still good.
Yeah.
I think, if I may, I think that you're sort of becoming into your own, right? You kind of wanted to have your own sound, and it sounded a little bit different than the first album, which I suspect is for most musicians as they grow. Would you agree? Is that sort of where you guys are at with that?
Yeah, I mean, we had sort of an EP in the middle of the two, and it's kind of like the first record was a bit of a mix, but leaning more on the pop side. And then we put out this EP that was just like all very heavy alternative rock. We called it The Lost Years because it was stuff that we had written that was supposed to be released in 2020, and then COVID happened. So we just kind of like put it out without a budget and just kind of went, here you go. This is, our album that we didn't do anything with because we were recording this next one, which is Chameleon, and was very much kind of a return to like form with the first one, where it's a mix of rock and pop. But I think we just didn't censor ourselves at all. We just kind of went like, let's write the songs we want to write, produce them the way we want them produced, and just like, go hard with what we want, as opposed to trying to like fit into something the industry might want us to.
Makes sense.
It sure does. Fun. Just going off, like it's fun to go off on your own. Just you know what, we're just going to do what we want, as opposed to what people tell you to do, right?
Well, you're supposed to do that.
Are you?
You're never supposed to do what people tell you to do.
Then why do I listen to you?
Well, because you're supposed to do what I tell you to do.
Oh shit. Very confusing.
Who inspired you guys as kids to get into music? Was there some family member, or was there somebody that you grew up with that sort of got you into it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm like the only musical one in my family, but my dad had like a good record collection, and like really, really kind of like, he loves music. So I just grew up listening to like the stuff he loved, which was a lot of Supertramp, Peter Gabriel, Pink Floyd, Beatles, and Beach Boys stuff. So no direct musical, actual musicians, but just a real good record collection.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. No musicians in my family, but my dad's like an animator, visual artist, I guess, and very supportive of the arts, and loved the Beatles, and that was my first musical love. Yeah, someone in elementary school asked me to get a bass because he played guitar and needed a bass player. So I didn't even know what a bass was, but I started playing it. And became all this, which is great.
Do you know now?
Still a bit unclear on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Parts on the bass.
We just saw Peter Gabriel actually on Saturday here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Nice. I heard
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was I was sort of laughing at the demographic, but because it was older and
I was fine with it.
Yeah, he was fine because Dog's old. And because I'm a huge Peter Gabriel fan, and I'm similar to you as that I heard it from like a family member, and I heard like the album with Sledgehammer on it, and like loved it right away when I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
But it started out really slow, so I was like, he was playing some slow tunes off his new album, and I was like, oh fuck, is it gonna be like, everybody's sitting down, and it's not like rocking, and then because he's playing a few of his slower songs in his new album, but artistically, like the visual art of it, like he, how he is, he's got like artists that create paintings for each song, and it's on the background, and everything is all mixed in, and then out of nowhere, he'll be like, it went dark, and then he just said, you might know this one, and then and it's like Sledgehammer, and then the place like kind of livened up, everybody kind of woke up. So yeah, no, it was a cool show. Who does? So do you guys write together? Is it like a collaboration? Is there someone who brings the vocals and then somebody does the riff and all that, or is it just sort of a group effort?
It all sort of depends on the song. Like all three of us are songwriters, so like one of us might bring like, you know, music and lyrics. Sometimes it's just we're jamming all together. We come up with a whole song, but we don't have any. Like we just have a bunch of cool musical parts, and then one of us will add a melody and the other one lyrics. Or sometimes it's just, hey, I have this catchy riff, and hey, I have this sort of vocal hook, and then hey, that kind of works, and then we build the rest of the song around it. But they kind of come from all angles.
FOMO and Eliminator are actually good examples of like we collaborated like all together writing the whole thing, I think. But there's certain other songs where, you know, one of us writes the whole thing basically top to bottom, but this album's pretty good collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the songs have like a good amount of all of us kind of being put into it. Except for Love Hate. That one was very
Yeah, that one's like all stuff.
Yeah.
You can kind of hear the difference when it's a full band thing or a solo kind of almost effort, bandified kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where is Steph?
I think he's in Toronto for some TIFF thing.
Yeah.
Is that TIFF?
It was a TIFF, now it's a rap.
Play on words. Get that? Wow.
No, I don't get it.
No, you're not very bright.
No.
No.
Handy though. Handy like a shirt pocket.
Yeah. Yes, you are. What do you got? I got nothing. I rushed all the way here. No, I'm kidding.
We're literally 11 minutes in and you have nothing. Okay, great.
Yeah. So carry the show like you usually do. Go ahead and carry it.
If you like, if there was somebody out there, like say a Canadian artist or something like you know, enjoy, is there somebody you'd like to collaborate with, or is there a collaboration that's in the works? Is there something that you like?
I mean, we're kind of buddies with Cramlands.
Ooh.
We'd been talking about
Doing a cover
together because we're really big fans of Boston. And we were thinking,
he's got the vocals for Boston.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So wouldn't it be sick to do like a Boston cover where, you know, now the three of us plus the two of them, we have two guitars, we have the vocalist who can do everything. We can
Like a regular band.
Yeah. A 2-piece and a 3-piece makes a 5-piece. So
The math is solid. The math is solid. So what song would you do?
we were talking about doing More Than a Feeling.
Nice. That's good solid tune.
Yeah, Smoking would be sick. I don't know if we have any keyboardists at that level of
that's intense. Do you ever do a deep dive on bands like Boston, like where they came from? You know, that they created that first album that was obviously massive, like one of the biggest selling albums of all time, but they cut the record and then they all went back to work at like as bus boys, and you know, the album's out and they didn't know that it was going to be a hit, right? So they just went to their regular jobs, and then all of a sudden, you know, More Than a Feeling's the number one song in the world, basically. So could you imagine, to imagine like coming from just creating something amazing, not knowing it's amazing? Did you feel that way even with your record? Did you find like you kind of put this out not knowing how it's good? Because it's obviously being played, you know, you check it on Spotify, and I'm sure you sold some hard copies as well. And it's got to be an interesting feeling, like it's got to be more than a feeling, actually. But you know what I mean? Like, but would you agree? Like, you must think that that's such a cool thing, not putting something out that you put so much heart and soul into, and then not knowing what the reaction is going to be, and then when it's positive, it's amazing. You know?
I feel like we have the opposite.
We try not to expect too much, I think, ever.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say we expect the world and we get delivered nothing.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Phil's wrong. It's actually, you know.
No, it's kind of a weird. We're in a weird place as musicians, because we're full-time musicians. So our day job is playing music for, you know, hotels, casinos, corporate things, weddings, and all that. That's our day job. So we've been full-time musicians for years. So we're already kind of pretty far removed from like regular day-to-day life. You know, people wake up at 8 a.m. We wake up at like 11, or we go to bed at 3 a.m. because that's just what we have to do. So, you know, we cut a record and we're already like just completely enveloped in the world of music. And so I think we kind of set some expectations, or maybe we just have the expectations from like years gone by where, you know, streaming wasn't king yet, where now, you know, you're seeing a lot less physical record sales except for when you tour. And now it's very much all like you wake up, you look at the algorithm, and you're like, okay, cool, our album's got 65,000 spins. Well, what does that mean? It feels like it's a weird spot to be in. Like we put our heart and souls into these records, and we really hope that people listen to them, but it's become this weird, like, intangible cloud of, oh, there's people listening to you, but you know, where are they?
Yeah, used to, yeah.
Yeah, except for at the shows, obviously. Like touring's like when you can still really connect with fans. Although streaming is kind of interesting because you can see like, oh wow, we have a bunch of comments of people like, you gotta come to Brazil or like come to the Philippines, and we're like, oh cool. I had no idea
you're gonna
people
pay.
listen to us there.
Yeah,
you know?
you buy the tickets, we'll come.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You can transfer us the money, we'll be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We
It just happened to be a Nigerian prince.
Nigerian prince
Exactly. Sorry.
Bands. We're stuck in Sri Lanka. Can you please send us?
Send us some scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be real rough being stuck in Sri Lanka. I hear it's a terrible place.
Sri Lanka?
Sarcasm, dude. Look it up in the dictionary.
Do you know that gullible isn't in the dictionary?
Is that right? Jesus Christ. I drove all the way here for this.
What are your favorite?
Oh, that's a classic.
No, you said it. You said James Blonde. Here we go.
Blonde. James Blonde.
So, like, of all the places you've performed recently, is there one that sticks out? You have a favorite and a least favorite?
Blue Mountain was cool. That was a cool gig.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sweet. We played like Blue Mountain Village. They had like a stage right in the town square sponsored by Subaru. Just did that
Nice.
summer or like end of summer concert. So that was pretty cool. We capped off their summer concert series there. It was like 12 to 1,500 people there, which was like
Cool.
it was like we kind of went in not knowing what to expect, and then just had this like bumping show.
Everyone was dancing and buying merch. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
In terms of not so cool shows, I don't know.
Ottawa.
Pick one.
You know, I feel
You
like
can't name names.
it's hard because maybe we're constant optimists. So even if a show didn't pan out that good, but we made like a few new fans, we're like, oh yeah, that was great. You know, these people. See them next time. Yeah.
Well, that's the way it works, right? Like you get a few more and you get a few more, and then
Yeah.
you know you keep touring. I see on your new tour you guys are going to dip into the States as well, a little bit in Ohio. Does it say Nashville as well?
Yeah, we're doing 2 nights in a row in Nashville. So we're doing kind of an interesting mix down there. So the Friday we're playing a bar kind of off Broadway, and we're doing like what we like to call like a James Blonde dance party, where we bring our expertise as musicians to just party with people. So it's gonna be there's gonna be some James Blonde music in there, obviously, but we're gonna just do like a ton of covers and just like try to get the place pumped. And
That's
then the Saturday is like the real tour date where we're playing, you know, the set list and the show that that we're touring on.
Okay, so for the Nashville show with the covers, what covers are they going to expect there? What are they going to get?
I don't know, but we big fans of like The Darkness, Franz Ferdinand,
Arctic Monkeys. So we do like classic stuff. We do Earth, Wind, and Fire.
We do
Beatles.
yeah, Walk the Moon.
The Eagles.
Edgar Winter Group. I love playing Free Ride. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there. An AC/DC cover, which is fun.
Yeah.
I bet that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, with a 3-piece band. That's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Which song?
There's a video of it somewhere. I think on our TikTok. There's a video of us it's like maybe 15 seconds of us playing ACDC. It's
Nice.
fun. Yeah.
That is awesome. I love that. When you're of your own music, what's your favorite song to perform?
I'm personally a big fan of Back to Life.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
Just because it kind of has all of the elements, there's big 3-part harmony in the chorus. We have that big heavy synth line,
It's kind of funky.
You're going between bass. It's kind of like funk and rock all together, and then Steph just rips this crazy guitar solo in the middle of it. It's always satisfying to do.
Well, it's a great opening song to the album, right? Yeah. Like that's the first song on the album, and it's excellent.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a good time live. I find like that's one of the dancier kind of numbers too, where like you see people in the audience instead of just like rocking out, they're kind of like dancing around to it. So that's good. What's yours?
Awesome.
I don't know. I mean, I like from the first album, I like doing Cynical. It's cool.
Cynical's great.
Heavier one with 3-part too. I don't know, it's just fun. And sometimes we throw a little surprise in there. We'll do like Nightmare Before Christmas like interlude in it, which is kind of fun. This is Halloween thing.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool. Yeah.
I love that music.
It is a Christmas movie. People don't get that, but I like that. I play that at Christmas time.
Right.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
It has Christmas in the title. Why wouldn't it be a Christmas movie?
Because people consider it a Halloween movie.
Dumb.
You know what? It's a November movie. That's what it is.
There you go. Split it.
There you go. Yeah,
there you go. Split the difference.
You are an optimist. I like that.
The Remembrance Day movie.
The day after Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, do you guys have any input into like when you're touring, your bands that open for you? Do you guys have any input into who plays where? Like, do you guys try to get a local band to play in each city that you play in?
Most of the time, yes. There's the odd time where like it's completely up to the promoter, but most of the time, yeah, I'm the one usually booking the tour, and so I kind of go out trying to find some cool locals.
Cool.
And I mean, half of it is trying to find locals that are sweet but I mean, the other half is just if they're available. I find one of the biggest challenges with finding local bands is that there's only so many venues kind of left these days, right? And there's so much incredible talent, but the problem is that this incredible talent they're playing so many shows, so many bands are touring, and they're going, we all need openers. So like, you go to Kingston or something, and there's a really healthy music scene that also
there is. Yeah,
these local bands are playing a lot of shows. So the challenge is finding a local band that's going to be good and fits with the vibe, but also haven't just played the night before and the night before and the week before, And
sometimes we're opening for ourselves. We find we do a set before we go on.
just change your name to something else and just come out as whatever.
Yeah,
like the Rolling Stones did.
Yeah, they did do that at the Alma Combo.
Yes, they did. Came in as a different name, just did a show before they went on tour. It's all good.
The Stones, yeah. This is a pretty good album too, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, that they played there. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's random thoughts. You'll get those lots of from our side. So,
like it.
Do you have any pre-show rituals? Like, is there a a discussion? Is there a moment together? Is there prayers or something like that?
Do you hug it out? What's going on?
Too much, really. I wish I had an interesting answer for that. We drink a lot of water. We eat.
Tremendously hydrated. Yeah, good.
Very hydrated band, James Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
sometimes we're modifying the set list before we go on based on like that.
Yeah, we're a little judgy bitches, so we'll like look at the crowd and we're like, they don't want this, they want that, and so we just use stereotypes. Really,
yeah, just judge them by the covers.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. So if I show up at a show, you're going to be doing metal? Is that the way it's going to be?
Yeah, or some ZZ Top.
Yeah. See, there we go. Judging.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised who the metalhead is in the group, but it's funny that I look shaven, but I'm metal, baby.
Like metal or like new metal or like What's your?
I'm more of like a, Motorhead, Metallica,
Okay.
like 80s metal.
Yeah.
We had we did a Gramcast with a guy who's a metalhead, and then we had someone else who's like, he brought in like Motley Crue, and I'm like, that's not metal, man.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's hair metal. And I'm like, well, is it?
Mm.
Like, it's they're a rock band. Like, they're excellent. So at times they did what they did, but anyways, yeah. So I do like metal, but I'm a guy that also likes 90s hip hop, and like I'm all over the place. So I like James Blonde.
James Blonde is awesome.
Yeah. I'm wild, man.
Yeah.
Wild.
Out of control you are.
Yeah.
And you don't forget Celine Dion and Suzanne Vega. Those are awesome.
Where did that come from?
Just off the top of my head, man. Very good metal artist. That's Celine Dion.
Celine Dion. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where did that come from? Out of nowhere, he looks at me and says that. That's amazing. You got something for them or what?
Just the way I roll, bruh.
Or are you just going to still sit back?
I'm going to sit back and let you take care of everything because I'm just not, functioning at this moment.
Well, we need you, man. We need you.
I'll be right back. Just kidding. If you guys where would you like to play other than in Canada? Where would be the place to go?
I've always wanted to do
Other than other than Sri Lanka.
We've always been told by European people that we would do well in Europe.
Specifically the UK, which I know they don't like to say they're part of Europe anymore, but the European continent is still a thing. So
Yes, it is.
we'll loop them in there. But yeah, we've been told basically by everyone we meet from that side of the Atlantic that we need to go there because that's what our music seems to be very in line with what's happening over there and what's popular.
Well, I mean, this with your the guys that you kind of felt like Arctic Monkey and Franz Ferdinand. You guys got that kind of same sound, so I can see them saying that for sure.
Yeah.
I think it makes
The vibe.
Yeah, vibe, yeah.
Royal Blood is also kind of a big influence. They're from the UK.
Oh, I thought they were.
I love Royal Blood. Yeah.
They couldn't name themselves Royal Blood and not be from the UK, right?
You would think Royal Blood, UK makes kind of sense. And weird that they'd be pretentious enough to say they're not part of Europe. I'm so shocked that the English would do that.
Bloody English.
We won't go there, being an Irishman, so I can't really. Yeah, you see that thing. What's your biggest career highlight so far?
Getting to sleep was pretty good. I feel like a lot of people lose sleep over their careers. Sleep like babies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Healthy sleep is good.
No, we should
These guys are
probably
amazing.
we should probably name drop is what you're getting. So
Do it.
You don't have to, but you
before
can.
we became James Blonde in our former years, but it was still us. We played Osheaga. We opened for like Weezer and the Black Keys back in 2015 on the main stage.
That was really cool. They sent this huge bus just to bring us there. It was like really overkill. It was great.
Most
Wow.
Canadian sponsors.
Yeah, most Canadian huge tour bus.
Yeah, so we had that.
That's
They
a
gave
trip.
us, like these like Oakleys that were Osheaga edition, like longboards, a whole bunch of swag that only the artists who played Osheaga would get. So that was pretty cool.
And there's like this little artist world where they like cart you to like these buffets for like all the headliners playing. So we got to like eat with everyone. It was cool.
You know Chuck
Cool.
Hughes, the chef?
You must know.
Yeah, anyways, Chuck Hughes, they call him like the rock and roll chef. He's got a show on Food Network, and he
Oh yeah.
catered all the food for the artists. So like we're at Osheaga and we're backstage, and Chuck Hughes is there in person, like making all this like it was like a buffet that like every couple of hours would be a brand new spread. It was sick.
That is so sick.
Speaking of food opportunities, we also the Pizza Nova part of our career was pretty nice.
Yeah. We jokingly learned the Pizza Nova theme song for our last show in Niagara.
Like the full minute-long version with the bridge and the verses and choruses.
Yeah.
We learned that. We made it. We went hard with like the Muse kind of influence in it, just like a big, heavy, like synth rock version of it. And Pizza Nova caught wind of it, and they sent us like a few $100s in Pizza Nova gift cards. Which has been incredibly useful to us considering they don't exist in Niagara.
Whenever we
That's
tour
right,
in
yeah.
Hamilton
And Toronto. The only location.
You just whip out those promo cards.
we eat like kings. Yeah.
Yeah, pizza for everybody.
Okay, so what you have to do when you come to Ottawa is learn the Pizza one because they're right next door to Live on Elgin.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Well, what's the phone number there? Because it's
737
It's always 11.
Toronto, it's 967.
Yeah, 737-1111 here in Ottawa.
Yeah, it's a Toronto-based company though, isn't it?
I have no idea where they're from, but I know that Live on Elgin's here and the Pizza. Oh, and then there's a Burger King, and then there's there's lots of eats around there.
You're not gonna,
You know
you're
what,
gonna learn
though?
the big names.
Yeah.
Pizza Nova is like their song's actually really. Have you heard it?
No,
Oh, it's
It's
hilarious.
incredible.
It's just quality.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
it. Like,
yeah,
we're not
yeah,
gonna we're not gonna go out and learn like the Fabric Land jingle, you know.
It's like
Or,
Why not, man?
like that's
Giant Tiger.
that's just like you know it's just basic. We
I
want
know.
like an epic jingle.
yeah, Fabric Land's food isn't very good though, so we didn't get much out of that.
True. Unless you started knitting or something.
The Fabric Land's like taste and palate is about the same as pizzas.
Oh, shots fired.
Well, he's right.
I know he's right.
Pizza's trash.
I don't disagree with that whatsoever.
Like,
Pizza Nova's good. Pizza Nova is very good,
yeah,
actually.
Pizza Nova's pretty good as far as
Have you had it?
ones
Hey,
go.
have you had it?
Pizza Nova? No,
No, you got it. You got it.
no. I guess at some point I'm going to have to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Well, for like fast.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of understand you. Yes.
It's sort of like
Word-
when you say
just wouldn't.
A&W is a good burger. It's good for fast food, you know.
There you go. All right.
Correct. Yeah. Well, if you're in Ottawa, I mean, you come to Ottawa. We used to have a place called Hinton Burger. That joint was off the chains, but I don't know where it is now. I think it's gone
I have no idea.
because it used to be on. It's in Hintonburg, and they called it Hinton Burger. But it was a solid burger. Yeah. Best burger in Ottawa is probably at the Fraser Cafe, of all places. But
There you go.
I feel like
Yeah.
if you're in Ottawa, I feel like if you're not getting shawarma or donair, what are you?
you're right.
Do we have
That's
one
right.
place is called Warehouse? Is that the restaurant there? There's like
Like,
just
yeah, they have a L Furniture Warehouse or whatever, like in the Byward Market
Yep. Yeah. There's a it's a bar,
Everything's-
the warehouse. Yeah.
on the menu. It's really
Yeah. That's a good spot. You're right though. Shawarma and Ottawa are kind of like they're in sync, really. You didn't know that people come to Ottawa only for shawarma?
I thought they would go out to Halifax for that.
No,
No, that's Donair.
Gotcha.
the Fresh Prince of Donair.
That's
The
right.
things I learned on this podcast. Wow.
That's what hey man, that's what you're here for.
Get it?
I lived in Ottawa for a couple of years, and let me tell you, that Rideau strip, there was not a single bad shawarma place.
There still isn't actually.
story.
And it's actually safer now than to walk around. Yeah, Yeah, that's gone. That's gone, and they sort of revamp because I worked at the old Dubliner, which is like a couple doors down, and yeah, I'd close up around 4 a.m. and anything would happen after that.
Yeah, it was fun in those
It's
days.
fucking crazy. But yeah, no, they revamped Rideau Street, which is actually they've done a decent job with it. But yeah, no, there's a shit show down there.
Just for you guys.
Yeah, when you come by, we did it for James Bond.
James Blonde is coming to Ottawa to play at the end of the month. We got to clean up, and we did. Clean up Rideau Street.
Was in McDonald's,
Yeah, we closed it. It's
the
done.
dirty McDonald's there.
Yeah.
The city pole, call it a day.
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right. Yeah, we're good to go.
Yeah.
If you as say a younger musician, do you have any advice for an aspiring musician starting out?
Quit while you're ahead. You'll save a lot of money.
Live with your parents.
Honestly, just everyone's kind of got their own path. So anyone who's trying to sell you like a get rich or get famous quick scheme, or anyone in the industry who tells you, hey, listen, I've broken such and such artist, this is how you do it.
You listen to them and take it.
That's right. Yeah.
Quicker. But it honestly, just everyone's got their own path. So don't get discouraged if it's not happening right away or the same way as somebody else, because nobody gets famous the same way twice, except for Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes. That was very similar.
Yeah.
But that's the only one.
Yeah, there's no direct career path like a lot of other jobs. So.
Yeah, yes, you kind of do it yourself. I mean, look at Rush versus like the Beatles. You know, very very different career paths. It's still very relevant, obviously.
Mhm. Agreed. So what can the fans expect from your show when you come to Ottawa and play live at Elgin?
We'll definitely be wearing pants this time.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a good selling point.
So pants are a good start.
Well, it may not be a good point.
Depending on who's going, I guess.
Yeah, some of the people might like.
Maybe the ladies would like to see no pants,
or some of the men.
You know, we'll do like a half and half. Like we'll turn our jeans into jorts on one side, so they get
Nice
action in there. Yeah.
I like where your head's at.
It's getting weird, bro. It's getting weird.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it will be the first.
I gotta go.
The new album, I guess.
Yeah.
Stuff.
We're debuting a bunch of these new songs live from the record. So, whole new show. We'll obviously have some guitar solos in there, some audience participation, maybe a bit of skin showing here and there. But either way, it'll get sweaty and it'll get rowdy, and that's how we like it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweaty and rowdy.
Yeah, that's just the way to go.
I like it. I'm down with that.
Yeah. Now I got a question. Can I say it?
Please.
Nice.
You're welcome to. Of course.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
You've got top billing on this show.
I do.
So you can.
That's because it's age before beauty.
He's
That's it.
Top
That's
dial,
me.
baby.
Do you guys have physical copies of your music, or are you guys just about the streaming?
Well, we learned from the best in the '80s. Let's get physical, and so we did.
Nice.
That was a terrible
Well,
transition.
Just ignore that.
That was
Everything has been very fromage.
That was a very good Olivia Newton-John segue.
Yeah,
Thanks so
yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, very much. Thank you.
We got some CD copies that are already available. Vinyl should be out in November.
Very cool.
There's a high demand for vinyl, and so we're in line. But it's ordered. It's coming.
It's not cool, Gus, because they won't have it for the show here in Ottawa.
Oh, they'll send us one.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll send you
We'll
guys.
split it in half.
Yeah, we'll have to come
That's
back
cool.
in November at some point. Just
There you go.
Yeah. We'll have you. We'll have you live in
Live in the studio.
We're grateful, obviously, that you're here. But do you find that it's interesting that there's only really 5 places on Earth that press vinyl? I think it's who told us that last a little while ago. We heard that when we were on the show.
I probably wasn't paying attention.
It sounds about right. Yeah, it's like there's one in each continent. It's like one in North America, one in Europe.
Jack White has one.
Yeah, Jack White has his own. Yes,
Yes, he does have.
That's right.
Yeah, we almost. I was gonna message Jack White, and then I personally, and then I figured he probably wasn't gonna answer, so I went with the Burlington plan.
Good call. Yeah. Maybe get when you want to get something done, you might as well go to the faster route for sure. Yeah.
Really, Jack White wouldn't return his calls.
He
How
seems
rude.
like a nice guy.
He seems like a really nice guy. I would hope so. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I just chickened out because I figured, what if I call and he answers and I turn into a bumbling idiot?
And he hates our music and doesn't want to press it.
Yeah.
We'd rather not know.
Well, I think that
he's
pressing vinyl for artists like yourself because he's trying to
Idiot.
he's trying to help. He's
He's a helpful guy.
Well, I think if you called their pressing plan, I'm not suspecting that Jack White's in there firing it up in the
Well, he does the labels. He's there putting the labels on them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I think he was wrapping them in plastic.
He's very
But
I mean,
Yeah.
when I hear from what his staff have told us when we stop in a third band in Nashville, he's a hands-on kind of guy.
Believe it.
decent guitarist. Decent.
He's learning.
He's okay. He's all right.
Yeah, he's learning. Yeah.
Well, you can learn a little bit from Jimmy Page. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, even Edge too. I mean, that whole special was amazing.
It was insane.
Those are really cool.
Yeah. Is there an artist that you guys like aspire to be, like as far as your instrument? Like, is there a guitarist that's like stands out when you're growing up, or a bassist or a vocalist?
No.
So this is coming from a true bassist right there. That's a true bassist answer right there.
In terms of drumming, I really like Matt Helder's drumming from the Arctic Monkeys, but Benny Greb is who I aspire to be. I don't put nearly enough practice to even get close, if I'm being honest. But
I think more in terms of like song writing, not as much as like the instruments themselves. I don't care so much about the skill level, but just the songs hit hard and sure. And like, I don't know. That's why I like Arctic Monkeys as well, because they like progress a lot with their music. Just like great tunes, great lyrics. Yeah, so I look up to them for sure.
Yeah, and fun and upbeat too, right?
Yeah.
Between them and Franz Ferdinand, some couple of really good upbeat type
I love
bands. Yeah, they're great.
we're big Muse fans as well. Like
Mhm.
Muse and Mother is where we get a lot of like the heavier kind of like sludgy riff influences, like Eliminator or like on our last EP, a lot of the influence was Muse.
Yeah,
Just really big harmonies and big kind of
dramatic stuff.
yeah, big epic, stanky guitar parts.
Do you say stanky or skanky?
Stanky and sludgy
And
riffs.
sludgy
I love them
riffs.
both. I love both of those.
You're like, oh,
bars.
you're disgusting. You want more.
Well, so now that you mentioned Eliminator does have a Muse feel to it for sure. Yeah, that's very sludgy. Can I take that? I love that.
I was going to say ZZ Top myself, but
Yeah, ZZ's got a few sludgy.
no, just because Eliminators, one of their albums.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's true.
That's why I went cheesy there. Sorry.
It's probably their most famous album.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the guitar in the front. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a few hits on that one too.
a few.
Yeah. Some great videos too, like when they show up in the Ford T and like there's like 15 women walking.
Yeah,
up.
and there's like 10 feet of legs come out of the car.
What are the songs called? Legs.
Yeah.
Legs.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Legs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's got like legs, tush. No, Lagrange is on the train.
No, Lagrange and Tush are a little bit older.
Yeah.
I think Legs. Give me all
Sharp Dress Man.
Sharp
Dress Man. Yeah,
a couple great sludgy
tunes. Yeah.
Well done. I'm totally taking that. If I'm taking anything from this, it's obviously our conversation, but sludgy. Well, so where do you find where you live in Niagara, there's enough venues for you guys to play? How does that affect your career? Do you find that it's where you need to be? Is it you're enjoying it there?
I mean, we grew up here, so we might be a bit biased. But in terms of musicians trying to make a living playing music, regardless of like what avenue you're taking to make that living, Niagara's a really good place to be. If only just because of the tourism and the wineries and breweries that are just absolutely everywhere. So there's really no shortage of work for musicians who want to work, which is awesome because for us it allows us to make a living playing music. And
keeping your jobs up too, just playing a lot.
Yeah, I think last year we played in 2022 like 200 shows, 200.
Holy crap!
Wild.
That's a lot.
Too much.
Which was too much. We scaled that back. But like we were playing on average pre-COVID about 175 shows a year.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, do you think it was because of COVID that you played that much? But obviously not.
No, it's needing to pay the bills,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but
probably your urge to play as well. Like you want to play in front of a live show, right? That's so.
I mean,
sorry.
why practice in the basement when you can practice in front of people and get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
So that's sort of what we it's nice because we can, when we're in the basement by ourselves instead of having to practice stuff, most of the time we can allocate that to songwriting because we play live so much. This kind of second nature at this point. So we can really focus on the artistry and songwriting when we're kind of by ourselves in front of it. And then Niagara's got a great music scene for original music too. I mean, St. Catharines specifically has a venue called Warehouse that just punches way above its weight in terms of the shows they can bring in. Like it's a 200 cap room, and they can get like this Friday coming up. They've got Death from Above is playing there.
Oh, cool.
And they're sold out twice in one night. But like, where else are you going to see Death from Above in a 200 cap room? You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of sick. There's a whole bunch of like there's the what do they call it? The Performing Arts Center in St. Catharines. So if you're into like classical and jazz and like the more sit down kind of show, there's a lot of that as well. So there's a bit of everything for everyone down here. Like just a ton of work for acoustic, like singer-songwriters. There's so many cafes and microbreweries that just, you know, you'll have like, hey, this person's from like Australia and they're playing at this tiny little microbrewery. And it's, you know, it's great.
Cool.
We're close to Toronto and the States. It's kind of a good home base between some stuff that we like too.
Yeah.
Nothing's too far.
It's true, actually. It's like the perfect middle ground. Like we can, you know, in 20 minutes we're in Buffalo, half hour you're in Hamilton, and you know, an hour you're in Toronto.
6 hours.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. 6 hours.
Afford to live here as a musician. It's not like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, this is where the music scene's happening. It's like that may be, but you need 3 jobs just to keep your apartment. You know.
Mm-hmm. It's very true. So, what do you guys like to do outside of music in your free time, if you have any?
Yeah, I should have hobbies really other than music, but
we sleep.
Yeah, catch up on sleep.
Sleep's a good hobby.
I play volleyball. So Steph and I, actually the guitarist and I, we play volleyball on a team every week. And then
I'm starting a cornhole league at the same place actually on Tuesdays.
Actually?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll
Cool.
We'll be smacking balls. You'll be playing with the sax.
Volleyball.
In volleyball.
Balls and sax.
There we go.
Balls and sax.
Balls and sax, baby.
It should be your next band name if you were. Oh, yeah. Balls and sax, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Steph actually goes to like Rubik's cubing tournaments.
What?
So he's like nationally ranked for Rubik's cubing. I think his best time is like 7 seconds and 7.45 seconds or something.
His average is like 10 or 12 seconds to solve
Rubik's cube.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
So he's doing it most of the time.
Skills.
There's a clip where we were on CTV, I think Regina or Saskatoon. And the interviewer is like, okay, we only got 30 seconds left. So he takes out his Rubik's Cube and just solves it. On the air.
Because he's always got one in his pocket.
Yeah, literally. He walks around with a fanny pack so he can keep his cube on him.
He's really quite cool. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That.
So I'm going to go to the show and I'm going to say, Steph, show us your Rubik's Cube.
Hey, listen.
He will.
I'm a constant marketer and thinking that you guys should have branded Rubik's cubes.
Ooh, James Blonde Rubik's Cubes.
You can have it all.
Put your faces on each side, and then you have to mix them back up and put the faces together.
Well, they can do it any way they want. Really,
I think that's the best way.
That'd be like on expert mode. You have to guess whose blue eye belongs to who.
Yeah.
We all have the same eye and hair color, so it makes it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, you know, you get extra points. You get a free CD if they can solve. If they can do it.
When you do branded Rubik's cubes, then that's a great idea.
You should. I honestly think you should.
Or even like
if that's part of it, like, because that could be something people will ask. Why do you have branded Rubik's cubes? And then Steph comes up and that's why.
Get him as a keychain.
Yeah.
Keychain
Rubik's cubes.
We should see who
down.
custom Rubik's cube. How fast the turnaround is. See if we can get him for Ottawa.
There you go.
Fucking right.
Yeah, we actually have our own branded coffee, but that's kind of the only out of the ordinary merch we get.
Yeah.
we designed our own coffee roast. So
Nice.
Oh yeah.
sell it. You can buy it online or at the shows on tour, but it's the Back to Life coffee blend by James Blonde.
Do you want me to buy you some at the show? Or are you coming to the show?
I'd like to come to the show.
Yeah. If Gus can't make it, I'll buy him some coffee.
Sweet.
I'm trying my best to see more shows, but I have twin girls that are turning 1 in 2 weeks, so my life has been a little slightly different.
Yeah.
in the best way. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I'm not seeing as many live shows, but
Yeah,
dogs.
So he knows.
That's one of my hobbies as well, raising.
There you go. Yeah. That's enough. It's really enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Steph and I are out gallivanting, volleyballing and sailing and stuff. He's at home dadding it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fulfilling his destiny, man.
Yeah.
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 So
It's all good. We've all partied before. It's you got to be a parent and show them what's up. Yeah.
We
So
have
what
many
happens-
songs explaining how enough of it we've had.
Yeah. Now we're
Yeah, I'm sure.
So what happens on tour? Do you bring with, or does your child stay behind when you go on tour? Leave the wifey and the child, and then away you go.
I mean, some age that would be cool. She's 7 right now, but
Okay.
whenever she can come to an all ages show, I will bring her for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's a big fan actually. She tells all her friends at school about us. It's really
That's the
Picked
best.
her up the one time for that birthday party.
yeah. They're all singing a chorus to one of our songs, and it was really cute.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's fulfilling. That's a fulfillment of having children right there.
Yeah. So if your daughter started talking about the podcast, that'll be fulfilling for you, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You say, well, Dad, why are you still with that jerk? Why don't you just get somebody else?
Oh, they'll say Uncle Dog. Uncle Dog, he's good. He's just he's weird. He's weird. He's weird, Daddy.
Yeah.
Is it time?
Well, yes.
So I think you should take this. We do ask this question to everybody we have on the show. It's just a simple thing. It's kind of a ongoing tabulation of my
Answer.
styles of favorite music and your styles.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, if you had to choose a genre a decade, not a genre,
Not a genre.
the 80s or the 90s?
90s.
Wow, that was too quick.
That's because they like me better.
You know,
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
we're also you omitted the 70s. If you would have said 70s, immediately would have been 70s.
I would say 65.
I think most people would. Yes, most people would say 70s. I think, yeah, in their heart of hearts, if they're rock stars or rock and
Well,
rollers or whatever.
we could have said that too, but we both loved the 70s.
I know that's the thing, but
Yeah.
we also wanted something different. And the 80s is what you're all about because you grew up in that time, and the 90s I grew up in that time in high school and stuff, and it was very influential. And plus, the best hip hop ever came in the 90s, so it's still the best.
According to Gus.
Still the best. There's nothing out there now that's any good except for J. Cole, maybe. But
I like the hard reset in the 90s for rap. The 80s, it became like this commercialized, almost parody version of itself. It's like peak in the 80s for certain,
Yeah.
like for the genre of rap specifically. And then, grunge comes along, which we're not like huge grunge guys, but it kind of made this hard reset, which paved the way for bands like the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys. And you had like then the hard reset with like Green Day and Blink 182, and like that's what we grew up on is like Green Day, Blink, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy.
Going into 2000. I like Oasis and Radiohead as well. 2 big bands I like.
I like you. I like you a lot. I'm a huge. I love Oasis.
Yeah,
I love
you guys-
Radiohead actually.
Yeah, so I'm less of a fan now, and Gus is more. Yeah.
You know what
If you-
though?
If you take people's opinions personal,
No,
then
I never do.
Like almost
They
every
give you good reason.
Mhm.
got that 80s influence in our songs.
Somehow, even though we don't listen to 80s music, we get a lot of comments that, it's very 80s.
Like our biggest sort of single today, or our biggest pop singles that we released between like Heartbreak and Back to Life are both like 80s twists on like 70s songs. Like 80s production, 70s songs. So
There you go.
that's how we wrecked in the 80s.
But we do so many covers from all the decades. I know it all kind of seeps into our music somehow. So,
It would at some point, right? Like if you're covering enough songs, it's going to kind of fall in. When you're playing, it's like, there we go.
Well, they never said that the 80s sucked.
No, I never
They just
said they
that
did that.
they just said that they just said that there was it did exactly, it did become very commercial at times because the one hit wonders were rampant.
Yeah, so they were in the 60s and the 50s and 70s and
not
80s.
in the 70s though.
Oh, I can name a few,
but not like
a lot.
50.
Oh well, we don't have that much time.
Like 50 one hit wonders.
I only know one Mungo Jerry song, but that's
in the summertime. In the summertime, Mungo Jerry,
pretty good song.
Black Betty, Ram Jam. One song.
You ever heard the
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, great. Now we're just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, play that funky music.
Vanilla Ice.
He wasn't 70s, dude.
I know he's 90s though.
Yeah. We just rhymed.
That was just Under Pressure. He didn't really write it, did he? Yeah.
No. He sampled Under Pressure and Queen and David Bowie and
sold 700 million albums.
That's because there's a lot of stupid people out there.
Stupid people. Yeah.
And I've just ostracized it.
That's like who was it? Rihanna with SOS, which was just Tainted Love. Tainted Love by, is it Soft Cell or the
Soft Cell? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just like, it's just Soft Cell, but she's just singing some new stuff over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Soft Cell, that song was actually a cover.
But Rihanna's not a one-hit wonder. She's got a few hits.
She's a one-hit wonderful.
Yeah, she's one-hit wonderful. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Sludgy riffs. Tell us everywhere we can find. Tell everybody where you can find you on socials, and then of course your shows coming up. And I mean your website. Tell us all that.
Well, you can find us at jamesblonde.ca, which is our website, which has full tour listings with tickets and everything. You can even purchase merch and physical copies of our album. We're on Instagram, and basically everything is James Blonde.
Yeah,
James Blonde Band. Facebook, it's just James Blonde. But yeah, I mean, find us on socials. YouTube's got some very entertaining music videos on there. Yeah.
Awesome.
There's a white bear that shows up quite often for some reason.
I make all our music videos or blogs and stuff. It's pretty entertaining to just go down that rabbit hole.
I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole later.
Yeah, you are.
I do. Put the girls to get in that rabbit hole.
Self-produced, but we occasionally bring in some videographers to do the camera work and some lighting. We tend to write the scripts and do all the other stuff.
Shit show's a good one.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, so much for your time. Look forward to seeing you here in Ottawa. Of course, check them out wherever you are, because there are a lot of places to go.
Yeah, come to see them live on Elgin. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think I might walk down to it.
Yeah, you're like 5 seconds from there. So I live right downtown. I'm like
I feel like we should be offended.
Uh-oh.
Dog, you have no excuse.
Damn it. Okay, I'm there.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's good. He's pretty good. He'll show up for sure. And the funny thing about Dog, we talked about this before, but he's sort of the type of person that he's enjoying a concert, but he looks angry, and I don't know how to explain it. Like he's sort of standing there with his arms crossed, with straight. With exactly, it's exactly right. So whereas I'm the opposite. I'm like wild and running around and jumping, and you'll see.
You're probably like a mosh pit guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you probably would.
Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I do. I guess that would make sense. But I also love to dance, so it makes sense too.
I look like I'm the bouncer. I get mistaken for the doorman many times in some of the smaller clubs.
Yeah. Are you the doorman? Here's my ID.
Do you both play instruments?
I play the guitar a little. I
this.
wouldn't say an artist, but Dog's a DJ.
I play the stereo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that an instrument?
Yeah. So I aspire to be better on the guitar, but time and
children and jobs and life and sleeping and stuff.
But I do love the guitar. It's like my favorite instrument for sure. I do, and I love music. So this is where this podcast sort of evolved from.
Yes, sir.
our love of music. So similar to your father, actually, just a lover of music and lots of like listen to lots of different types, and then maybe my kids will be musicians. You know?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Thanks, boys, for your time. We appreciate you, and we'll see you when you're here. Thank you.
See you at Live on Album.
Nice to meet
You
you.
bet, sir.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, boys.